So I'm out here in LaSalle Loop, and I'm not gonna say something cliche like I always wanted to do it. Um, Honestly, if you're in Moab, this isn't the kind of thing that you would be doing in the first place. This is the kind of thing that you'd be doing because, well, you got time to kill. LaSalle Loop is under construction at the moment, so it probably lost some of its loopiness. That and the fact that in 2021 there was this massive fire that started off in as element of careless human behavior. I believe it was called Pack Fire, and I was here for it. I think at the time when I left, it was like 9,000 acres or something like that, and it just kept growing. So what we saw daily at the time was tons and tons of smoke everywhere. The mountains were red. The winds were whipping. I mean, it was like the whole enchilada. So I chose to start it at the Ken's Lake, but Ken's Lake is under construction, be as it may. We have done the waterfall hike the other day, and I was like, hey, you know what the hell, right? So I was like, okay, well, maybe they're just fixing that part of the road or something. Well, no. So I chose to do some sort of other cutoff road, and lo and behold, there's construction, and I got held up, and I don't want to sound like I'm whining and complaining, but just telling you about my experience. So this portion of LaSalle Mountains, as you see all around me, is obviously Can you hear it? I think there's a waterfall in there somewhere. I have no idea where. But it sounds like way down yonder in the ravine there's a waterfall. More research required, I guess. The elevations here are insane. The grades on the road going up and down is absolutely ridiculous. But the air is different, obviously, because we're so much higher in elevations. My ears are popping all over the place. I don't know if we're gonna get anywhere near the actual mountains other than just kind of like seeing them off in the distance. So far, other than stray peak every once in a while, I haven't really seen the snow-covered mountains per se. I am being affected by the high altitude. As a matter of fact, just by recording this video, I feel the whole thing building. So I guess I'm gonna record a couple more clips here and there. I am recording the GoPro thing, so you know, I'll post it on my channel. Is it worth going? I don't know. Let's be honest. I've had my mind blown in all sorts of ways, and I've been in all sorts of places. So take it with a grain of salt, right? Like, is this comparable to the $1 Million Road? No. Is it comparable to something that you would see in Silverton, Ouray, Telluride, etc.? No. But it has its own flavor and character and all of this. And it's a completely different type of ecosystem, the one that you generally will not see in Moab, unless you go like further south into Monticello and whatever. So the vegetation here is completely different, obviously. You start seeing pines, you start seeing all sorts of crazy Harley Davidson bikers sprinting down the mountain. You start seeing ravines that are covered, and like this is very atypical to Moab because Moab is so barren in a million different ways, you know, with the red rock and the whole thing. So I think on merit of just like going through the experience, this is probably worth it. Now I chose to do it not from 128. I chose to do it from 191, eventually heading into 128. So that I could finish out over by the Colorado River. I guess you could do it the other way too. Or you could do it both ways if that's your cup of tea. I just have time to kill. And I think this is kind of like, reprieve. I still haven't figured out what I want to do tomorrow on Thursday. I feel like I'm making a horrible mistake by not like going after something big, like now that my mom is gone, to where she had to go. Theoretically speaking, I could muster up and suck it up and do something like a Pritchett Canyon hike, or do something like the Pritchett Canyon Arches hike by taking like upper, Hunter Canyon or whatever, or maybe like even do some other thing that's equally ridiculous. Do I want to do it? I don't know. Right now I'm at that point where I am I had an episode of my neck yesterday. I guess it was substantial enough for me to have taken 3 painkillers while we were doing the hike in the fiery furnace. My neck is a lot better now. I have technically a drive to Grand Junction on a Saturday with all the accoutrements that come with. I'm doing background research on how the hell I'm gonna get from the storage space to the airport, and I'm like looking at what the options are. Things like Uber and other things. There's local taxi service, so I need to, also I'm receiving packages for things that are broken, and I need to pack. Now, I don't have a lot to pack. I intended to come back with absolutely nothing other than the laptop and the hard drives. But now that the actual airline allows carry on, like it kind of makes sense to just might as well kind of deal. So I picked up at the post office my delivery for the luggage. So good luck buying a suitcase here in Moab. Nobody sells them. The True Value is the only store that has any kind of anything, and those are like ginormous, like something that you would check in. And they only have 2 of them that probably been laying there for years. I could theoretically buy something in Grand Junction, but my intent is to get ready, and there's a lot to do, and I'm sure that there's going to be unforeseen things that I haven't even thought about. And I'm making this a long-winded video because I want the rest of the kind of coolness that I will follow up with to be more about like this trail thing. It's so weird breathing here because like this, I guess this is where the air is born. I know for a fact I've already crested over 7,000 feet. I'm probably gonna crest way higher than that. One of my packages from Z Automotive was supposed to arrive today. I guess it wasn't delivered in time for me to have picked it up at the post office, so I'm gonna try and pick it up tomorrow. I'm also waiting for something tomorrow as well. So there's like all these things, I've lost another camera to life, I guess you could call it. So I have lost both of the 360-degree cameras, and I threw out all the accessories too because they're old, and there's that. So I've prepared for this trip, having redundancies and backups and all these other things. So this isn't something that's like devastating per se, but it is kind of annoying nonetheless. as I'm driving this road, I want to admire what I see. Eventually, it will end in the Castle Valley in the Highway 128, which is the Moab-like thing. So this is kind of the reason why I started on this end, because I've already seen the other end, you know, go into places like Onion Creek. So I'll catch up with you later on, somewhere along the way, I guess.